was a chaotic shot. It was you catching that thing with the helicopter behind and the plane. What's up, everyone? We got some fun in store for this one. My buddy Christian's coming into town. He's a professional drone pilot, kind of like me, but he flies the FPV style drones much better than me. And FPV is first person view. He's actually got some that he built specifically for chasing aircraft. So that's the goal on this one. We're gonna go out and see if we can get some just cool shots of the new Legend Nomad and my playground out here. And yeah. Before we get into it though, my friends over at Diamond Doors asked, since I've owned my Diamond Door for about 2 years now, if I would be willing to speak as to what the experience has been like and if I like it, and I was happy to oblige. And for anyone that doesn't know about Diamond Doors, they make bifold hanger or ag storage, I mean really anything doors. They're just bifold doors that are custom built to any size you want. Honestly, the ordering process was super easy. I just told them the size opening I wanted. I mentioned that I wanted some windows, told them all the features. Mine is pretty much fully kitted because I have the auto latches as well as all the safety equipment being photo eyes, so it can auto close on its own, which allows me to use a key fob or the little like remote opener. So when I'm taxiing up, I can open the hangar door and it's open by the time I'm out of the plane, which is super cool. The door comes fully built on a trailer. It doesn't have the siding on it yet, but basically all you have to do is lift it up into place and bolt it or weld it to the beam that's the door's hanging on. You drop the cables down, connect the wires, and you're off to the races. Super easy install. I did install it myself. Much easier than this garage door right there. I did that as well, and that was a nightmare. Anyone that is looking to build a hangar, or maybe you want to retrofit the door on an existing building, make sure you go give Diamond Doors a call. Again, this thing's been awesome. It just works. I haven't done any maintenance or any servicing at all. The thing's just, you know, perfect. So anyone that's in the market for a bifold or wide span hangar door, give my friends over at Diamond a call. But anyway, I'm gonna get this plane pushed out. We're gonna go grab Christian and let's go get some shots.
Starting my left turn now. And smoke is coming on in 3, 2, 1. And I'm going to start my left turn here in about 3, 2, 1. And rolling out onto final right now.
What is up, guys? I got my friend Christian Oyala here.
What's up?
Avionics Studios. He's a fellow drone pilot, but way better than me at FPV. And you brought some toys.
I did.
We don't really have a point of today aside from just go shoot some stuff. When I first met Christian, or the first time, our friend Ethan told me he has a drone that'll go crazy fast, like 200 miles an hour. I was like, no, that's not this drone. But I went and saw you out at wherever, and that thing was going up there. I mean, I've never seen anything that fast. That one's ridiculous. This is more of just like your go-to, right? Tell me about this.
Yeah, so I specifically built this to do a lot of like aerobatic filming, but I've always had a drone that was just not fast enough. And it was leaving me with the question of I want more. So I built this. It's a 7-inch drone, and it doesn't do the 200 like Trent said, but it does do about 150 miles an hour, and it has a lot of flight time, and it's very agile, so it's great for ripping around and changing direction really quick. Rips a little GoPro on there, but it's a great drone.
And anyone that's been following along for a while on my channel knows that I've screwed with FPV. I've done some stuff with them, but I could never get one that was even fast enough to chase like a bush plane, let alone that. And you were saying, what, you have an area with a waiver that because obviously you're not supposed to go over 100 miles an hour unless you're wavered, but you have that and like an altitude unrestriction or up to like 5,000 feet, right?
Yeah, so I've got to shoot the aerobatic airplane stuff. It's a tedious process, and you need a lot of different waivers, such as beyond visual line of sight, speed, altitude.
Because so many people, I'm sure you get this a lot, that, hey, you can't be chasing airplanes with drones. Like, that's what you do.
That's what I do. That's what I do full time, pretty much. So.
It kind of falls under a formation flight. When we are both pilots, we both have briefed the operation. We have radio communication. Obviously, once you're airborne, it's one way. Mm-hmm. So we already had a briefed plan, and I'm just talking through the timing of what I'm gonna do. So basically I'm gonna take off 3, 2, 1. Same with smoke on, 3, 2, 1. Starting my base now. So that helps, right?
Yeah, it's like we obviously briefed it beforehand and we have radio communications, so you know every movement is, we already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You probably don't get the same thing when you go out and just chase airliners, huh? At Denver?
Definitely not. Don't recommend.
That is a joke. Do not do that. Do not ever do that.
Ever.
Actually, don't even ever film a plane that hasn't consented and that you're not in communication with the pilot. That is like a big no-no. I think that's the problem, that some of these shots look cool and everyone's like, I want to do that. Look, if you're a proficient drone pilot and you're working with a proficient pilot and you guys are on the same page, it can be done safely and legally, but outside of those constraints, just don't do it.
Can you hear me? I can hear me. Cool. Can you hear you? I can hear me. Let's go find those wild Mustangs. I can tell you, they're right there. You already see it? Oh, yeah. We'll go fly over them though. All right, you good to go? Ready. We're gonna use up a lot of room because we got a tailwind. Cool. And I don't want to take off until I'm at this freaking bump up here anyway. Yeah, little ski jump. Yep. So right about now. And then we'll unload the wing and fly away. Pretty cool. Dude, you're getting the whole wildlife tour. As you can see on your left, we've got the wild antelope. The antelope are next to the Mustangs. The Safari of Reno. Man, this looks like it was wet. Someone was out here getting real muddy. You're probably like, what the hell? Right off our left wing now. That's super cool. Isn't that rad? Oh my gosh. And then we got wild horses running over there. Oh my gosh, that's so cool. You're probably like, wow, that's a big Mustang and it flies. Yeah, that thing looks weird. Super cool. And there's dead cow. That's a big lake bed. Yeah. It's like, I forget, I think it's 5 miles long or something like that. So do you know when that was a lake or when it dried up? It still turns into a lake in the winter for a little bit. Huh. Yeah. All right, what do you think about me landing next to this sagebrush so you can hide yourself in the sagebrush? Yeah, let's do it. Let's do that. Looks wet still. It's not. No? No, this lake bed's funny like that. It can like appear wet, not be, so. Oh.
Okay, we're gonna go with the GoPro around now with this faster drone. I don't need him to go 150 miles an hour because I can't go 150, but maybe play with some single one-wheel stuff, like one wheel on each side.
I just go a little further.
Yeah, get a little more range out of it because that has a little longer flight time, huh?
Yeah, I can do like 4 to 6 minutes with that.
46 minutes?
No, 4 to 6.
46, that's good.
Oh yeah,
that's sick.
46 minutes.
We're good. I got GPS. I know this return to home works. It comes like pretty much right here, so.
Okay, if that happens, grab the radio and tell me, just so I'll get out of the way.
I will. What it does is it climbs to 400 and then it'll come right back.
Okay, then I will not climb to 400.
Just do like what is it, the knock it off, where you just fly just as far as you can.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool, I'm gonna take off here.
Sounds good. All right, rolling in 3, 2, 1. Alright, starting my left base here to come around that corner, and that's where I'll touch down on my one wheel. Switch to the other wheel. And taking off. What I'll do is I'm just going to do a low pass over the brush just to the west of you, and then I'll make a big base and final and come in and land next to you.
Yeah, I think adding smoke to that shot made it even cooler.
I love how much you're loving the smoke.
I love it.
He is having me do smoke at lower speeds, which means lower RPM, which means my exhaust temps are not as high. So I'm spitting a little bit more oil through. So I'm gonna make him help me wipe down the plane later.
It's all our landing marks. Really? Yeah. And there's a game trail, that's what you're seeing off the right. Huh. It's like a very forgiving spot, I feel like, to learn landing off airport. Yeah, it kind of is. You got a lot of room and it's uphill. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I can
Well,
probably be in the air pretty quick. So.
okay, so you're telling me to stop screwing around and get in the plane? I hear him. We hear him. We hear you. So up at Outlook, kind of got some speckled clouds, which I don't know if that helps or hurts, but that's what we got.
That's what we got.
We're gonna do a little thing here and then probably just do the pyramid run on the way back so he can see pyramid, go charge some batteries, and then try to go break away for a better sunset, like right at that magic hour shot.
A little bump here, boing, and then we'll be off. So I think we'll do a smoke overpass. Okay. Just for wind and see what it looks like. Bit of a wind blowing this way. That's the hard way to land. I'm a little high, so I'll slip. Yeah, that way's fun, dude. I've only landed that way one other time.
Hi.
Dude, I'm stoked you landed that way.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't
cool.
lose a tail wheel.
Yeah, you didn't short it.
Something up.
You didn't short it. You did bounce. You need TK1
definitely.
shocks. You need shock monsters. It's fine.
Yeah.
How did the footage look?
Super cool.
Yeah? Hell yeah.
I like that takeoff because you kind of go down and then it fades out. We beat the light, which is good.
Yeah.
I could see it just going, as I was coming in, it was doing this.
Yeah.
You know? It was just going away.
No, I'm glad we shot when we did because that last one was like, that was it.
Sick.
I'd landed and it was like this.
Yeah.
Shade.
So this is the direction at Sucker Punch I've only landed once before, and it was years ago when there was a stiff wind and I came in, and it's like an aircraft carrier landing. You do not want to short this line of white rocks here because they're pretty jagged, and if you land on the downhill side, like you're leaving your landing gear behind you. But you basically roll just this way. You can almost see the tracks right there. And then the only downside is if you need to do a go around, you would, once you got to where Mike's plane is, you'd have to make a 20-degree heading shift to the right for the takeoff. But overall, super fun spot. And it definitely got cold out. It is we're at 7,600 feet. The wind's blowing 10 to 15, and I think it was only 46 out, so wind chill is real right now. But what a fun little day.
That was so scenic.
His takeoff?
Yeah.
Dude, this is not a bad spot, huh?
This is a really cool spot.
This is again one of my go-to, like, let's go have coffee on a mountain, because again, it's 4 minutes from my house.
So cool.
And you saw I can land up here when the wind's blowing most different
Yeah.
directions, so it's kind of cool because it plays a lot of times.
I like that takeoff going that way. It's
Oh,
just
yeah.
so pretty because you have the whole view.
All right, what'd you think, dude? Solid
Super
first day?
cool. That was really fun.
It's a good spot, huh? All
Yeah,
of it. This is a
that
fun
last spot
playground.
was my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite too.
Super cool.
And the light was perfect.
Zero Sierra, right crosswind, runway 32, set.
Oh. Trent's up.
Chasing you down, we'll probably catch you.
Where are you?
Off your right, about 2 miles behind you. We'll catch you shortly.
I didn't know you. So you were over by my house.
You were. We just parked on top of the hill and waited you out.
Oh, okay. Cool. You should have told me. I would have went over and found you.
All good.
And I'm sure you'll chase me down because I'm not going that fast.
Catch you pretty quick. That was good.
All guys see helicopter and airplanes and just go, hell yeah. Yeah, right.
All right, back out. Day 2 of making content with Christian. Today we're shooting some fly fishing content for a brand he's shooting for. Got our friends at Freedom Air to come out, the EC 130, and we're probably gonna do some FPV stuff here of the both aircrafts, and then do a little fly fishing so he can get some content of that.
All right, and Trent is rolling in 3, 2, 1.
The wake's gnarly?
Yeah. This is freaking sick.
Is it?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Dude, that was a chaotic shot. It was you catching that thing with the helicopter behind and the plane.
That was sick.
That one felt good?
Dude, it's just cool because it's big, loud, and scary.
Dude, it looked like you were on a freaking leash behind that thing.
I was
It was
probably
so cool.
5 feet from the tail.
Yeah.
It felt like
it was probably.
All right, and just like that, back safe and sound, Christian was able to hitch a ride with Cole and Joe in the helicopter back to Reno to catch his flight, which was awesome. What a fun little, couple days. I just love this. For those of you that don't know, obviously my whole background is making videos and content and film, and it's just awesome getting together with other creative individuals and just going out and playing. So anyway, with all that, thank you again, Diamond Doors, for sponsoring this video and, getting me set up with such an awesome hangar door. And thank you guys for tuning in. You guys know the drill. Like this video if you do. Subscribe if you haven't. Come be my wingman. See you on the next one. Peace.